the opening salvo of a roast battle for the ages, a 19th century poetry slam, the Bulletin Debate, Banjo versus Henry. The opening salvo in this debate was put forth by Lawson, but it could be said that he left himself open, as did Paterson, for examination of his past work as reference for ridicule. Penned by Lawson, Borderland, later retitled Up the Country, the poem that started the whole ruckus, was published on the 9th of July, 1892. A shot across the bows, Borderland displays a contempt and disdain for romanticising life on the land, pointing to the stark realities faced by those that venture inland, far flung from the luxuries of city life, Lawson leaving no doubts as to the persuasion which he prefers.
Borderland. I'm back from up the country, very sorry that I went, seeking for the southern poets, land whereon to pitch my tent. I've lost a lot of idols, which were broken on the track, burn a lot of fancy verses, and I'm glad that I'm back. Further out may be the pleasant scenes of which our poets boast, but I think our country's rather more inviting round the coast. Anyway, I'll stay at present at a boarding house in town, drinking beer and lemon squashes, taking baths and cooling down. Sunny plains, great Scott! Those burning wastes of barren soil and sand, with their everlasting fences stretching out across the land. Desolation where the crow is, desert where the eagle flies, paddocks where the loony bullock starts and stares with reddened eyes, where, in clouds of dust enveloped, roasted bullock drivers creep, slowly past the sun-dried shepherd, dragged behind his crawling sheep. Stunted peak of granite gleaming, glaring like a molten mass, turned from some infernal furnace on a plain devoid of grass. Miles and miles of thirsty gutters, strings of muddy water holes, in the place of shining rivers walled by cliffs and forest bowls. Barren ridges, gullies, ridges, where the ever-maddening flies, fiercer than the plagues of Egypt, swarm about your blighted eyes. Bush where there is no horizon, where the buried bushman sees nothing, nothing but the sameness of the ragged, stunted trees. Lonely hut where drought's eternal, suffocating atmosphere, where the God-forgotten hatter dreams of city life and beer. Treacherous tracks that trap the stranger, endless roads that gleam and glare, dark and evil-looking gullies, hiding secrets here and there. Dull dumb flats and stony rises where the toiling bullocks bake, and the sinister goanna, and the lizard, and the snake. Land of day and night, no morning freshness and no afternoon, when the great white sun in rising bringeth summer heat in June. Dismal country for the exile, when the shades begin to fall, from the sad heartbreaking sunset to the new chum worst of all. Dreary land in rainy weather, with the endless clouds that drift o'er the bushmen like a blanket that the Lord will never lift. Dismal land when it is raining, growl of floods and oh the whoosh of the rain and wind together on the dark bed of the bush. Ghastly fires in lonely humpies where the granite rocks are piled, in the rain-swept wildernesses that are the wildest of the wild. Land where gaunt and haggard women live alone and work like men, till their husbands gone or droven will return to them again. Homes of men, if home had ever such a God-forgotten place, where the wild selector's children fly before a stranger's face. Home of tragedy applauded by the dingo's dismal yell. Heaven of the shanty keeper, bidding fiend for such a hell. and the wallaroos and wombats, and of course the curlews call, and the lone sundowner tramping ever onward through it all. I am back from up the country where I went, seeking for the southern poets, land whereon to pitch my tent. I have shattered many idols out along the dusty track, burn a lot of fancy verses, and I'm glad that I am back. I believe the southern poet's dream will not be realised till the plains are irrigated and the land is humanised. I intend to stay at present, as I said before, in town, drinking beer and lemon squashes, taking baths and cooling down.